was woke? I don't think so. What do you think, Mike? Mike, was he woke? I don't think so. I don't think he was too woke. He was the exact opposite. You know what woke means? It means you're a loser. Everything woke. Everything woke. It's true. Everything woke turns to shit. Okay.
That is President Trump. Talking about wokeness, talking about the bullcrap that the Biden administration did and that's been happening in American culture. Wokeness is a term to describe race-baiting liberals who are promoting a racist, sexist agenda against anyone who they don't agree with and who are following the pages of the crappy, terrible movement called sexism. And they are making people go off feeling and emotion instead of off logic and intelligence. So, Dr. Benny Johnson is going to give us a bit of what Trump has done to get rid of wokeness in our federal government. So, what has Trump done to get rid of wokeness? Well, let's go ahead and check because I think we all need to know.
Trump obliterates DEI with new demand to place every federal diversity program and employee on leave by 5 p.m. today.
That's yesterday.
Junior, Donald Trump quickly made good on his pledge to sever diversity, equity, and inclusion policies in the federal government as he's set to lay off all DEI hires within 24 hours.
Awesome. Oh, how amazing. We're not going to have people hired based on the way they look or how they feel they are, how they feel based on their gender and that they believe in 88 genders or 99 genders or 250 types of genders. We're going to be hiring off merit now? What?
The new Trump administration sent a letter to the heads of the acting government agencies informing them that federal employees in DEI roles must be placed on leave. Also, that letter includes all contractors because the vast majority of government work is done through contractors. All DEI offices and federal agencies are also being shuttered in the move, which comes after Trump signed an anti-DEI executive order in front of a cheering crowd in the inauguration on Monday. In a letter first obtained by CBS News, the agencies were ordered to take prompt actions against departments focusing on exclusively on DEI initiatives. The letter also demands that all public DEI-focused web pages be taken offline and orders employees with departments to report any efforts to disguise these programs using coded or imprecise language.
What I'm hearing is put them on administrative leave so that we can figure out why they were hired and if they were hired because only because of what they look like and what sexual orientation they fall under, what pronoun they are, and not based on if they're qualified or not. Well, I think this is a great thing, and we're going to go over how the ATF is defying Trump in another video. However, what I'm seeing right here is Trump is basically saying, you guys have to fire these people. You guys have to let us know if people are undercutting our new law. Oh boy, I love it.
Any employee that is aware of coded or imprecise language intended to keep DEI programs alive but not report them within 10 days are warned of adverse consequences.
I like it. You gotta enforce the law.
Trump's executive order titled Ending Radical and Wasteful Government DEI Programs and Preferencing the Initial Rescission of Harmful Executive Order and Actions directly reverses DEI executive order enacted by Joe Biden on his first days in office. What a complete cuck that dude was. What a nightmare we've just lived through. Tuesday's orders includes these programs divided Americans by race, wasted taxpayer dollars, and resulted in shameful discrimination. Yesterday, President Trump signed the presidential memorandum to end DEI madness and restore excellence within the FAA.
So essentially, wait, you're telling me that You guys in the federal government, our federal government hired FAA employees, the Federal Aviation Administration hired employees based on what they looked like and their pronouns and their gendered identification, not by their birth certificate, but you're telling me that how they feel, they are male or female, or I'd rather not say, or I'm non-binary, I'm queer. You're gonna tell me that you were hired based on that and not whether you can actually fly a plane and land it and follow coordinates, and whether you are a certified, qualified federal air traffic controller. You're going to tell me that you didn't need a qualification to be a part of these jobs? Is that why we've had so many mid-air collisions? Is that why we've had a lot of tarmac collision, runway collisions, and problems with flight delays? I don't know how many flights I went on under the Biden administration to California, to Phoenix, to Tucson, Arizona, to Denver, Colorado, to wherever, where flights not only were delayed, but I actually had to miss flights, or I had to stay in a hotel because, or I had to book a flight on another day or at a later time because it was so delayed, because we had people that didn't actually know what they were doing and didn't actually how do I put this, didn't actually know how to perform their jobs because they weren't hired to do those jobs. They were hired based on what they looked like. Oh, okay, so you're telling me that's why we had more flight accidents under Joe Biden than we did under Donald Trump. That's why we had more flight delays under Joe Biden than we did under Donald Trump. And you're telling me that that's why we had more mid-air and runway collisions than we did under Biden than we did under Trump. And you're telling me that all of that was because of DEI hires, and now Trump is saying, actually, no, I'm going to hire you based on merit now? Whoa. Racist. What a racist asshole.
Trump killed NIH and federal research grants to Harvard and other universities with DEI programs. DEI will be removed from all contracts. Contractors, university, must certify that it does not operate any programs promoting DEI. Agency heads must take measures to deter DEI at institutions of higher education and endowments of over $1 billion. Attorney generals will issue guidance to end DEI at institutions of higher education that receive federal grants.
This is awesome. This is amazing. So what you do is you grab them by the fucking throat, you grab them by those big ass balls they think they have, and you bring them down to their fucking knees, and you threaten them with a figurative gun to their head, and you threaten them with money, because guess what? UNLV and the college UNR here, CSN, UCLA, Stanford, Harvard, Yale, all these woke ass liberal colleges that, by the way, released a list of harmful words you can't say. Words scare me. They hurt. They all are woke as hell, and they all have DEI programs. So what you do is you say no more money coming to you if you are promoting woke bullcrap. Oh, this is exactly what I wanted Trump to do. Take away federal benefits from anyone that promotes DEI programs.
Trump administration directs all federal diversity, equity, and inclusion staff to be put on leave. Trump says his government will be eliminating any forms of DEI and only recognize 2 genders in his inauguration speech. Possibly the best line of the speech. There are too many to really count.
That is one of the best things I've ever heard a president say. That the United States, it is therefore the official position of the United States government of the United States government, that we recognize only 2 genders, male and female. There you go. No more of this Title IX rewrite bullcrap where we're going to change what sex actually means. We're going to stop taking away opportunities from women, and we're actually going to allow them to have an equal opportunity. Huh, okay. Tell me more, Benny.
Brendan Carr, he's the chairman of the FCC, says, yesterday, President Trump issued an executive order to end government promotion of DEI. Today, as chairman of the FCC, I'm extending the FCC's promotion of DEI. I am ending the FCC's promotion of DEI, and will focus our work competently on carrying out the FCC's statutory mission. So there we go. That's just an example of one head of government agency that put the end to it. This young man was fired from the Space Force since he criticized DEI. Trump said he will rehire him.
My name is Matt Lohmeyer. I was an Air Force F-15 pilot, and I was a commander in your newly created U.S. Space Force. I am also the first veteran of the Space Force because under the Biden-Harris regime, I was fired from my command and lost my pension for criticizing DEI trainings that were rampant in the military. Those trainings are still dividing our troops, and thank you for saying you would fire those few woke generals who are a big problem.
They're gone.
I'm going to suggest that it might, in fact, require ongoing oversight and a persistent, consistent, watchful eye within the Pentagon to ensure this monster never returns to the Defense Department. Will you consider establishing a special task force, office, or position to ensure that these monsters never return to the Defense
And you know
Department?
what I'll do? And I'm pretty good at this stuff. Sometimes you get it wrong. I'm going to put you on that task force. I think it's good. Not going to do better than him. I'll put you on. Make sure you give the name. Thank you. Beautiful. Right? I have your approval.
Yes, sir.
I have your approval. We're not going to get better than him. You're right about it. You're right. 100%. Thank you.
This young man or this gentleman fought for yours and my right to do what we do and enjoy our God-given freedom and founders-given freedom given to us by our founding fathers. He fought for our country so that we could enjoy living life the way we do here. And of course, the United States is not without weaknesses. The government does dumb shit all the time. Julian Assange is an example. But this young man fought for our freedom and my freedom, and Joe Biden fired him because he simply wouldn't say they, them, and instead criticized the DEI program. So Joe Biden doesn't agree with free speech, and he got fired for that. I think Joe Biden ought to be sued. I think he should sue Joe Biden. And honestly, I think he should be in charge of that department because nobody understands what it's like to be fired than the person who is actually fired. And a lot of us have been fired from jobs, and it doesn't feel great, honestly. And I think it is an amazing thing that he is standing up and saying enough is enough, and we need to solve this. And thank goodness that hopefully Trump follows through on his promise and he reinstates him and actually puts him in charge of that position, or at least reinstates him with full back pay. They took away his pension, not because he committed a crime, not because he didn't follow duties regarding fighting for the country, but because he simply wouldn't go woke and wouldn't follow pronouns.
DEI is dead. Affirmative action is dead. Biden illegal immigrant app dead. Gender ideology dead. Progress, ladies and gentlemen, you can see here. Chief Diversity Officers, Executive Council, and deleted. Yes, all of these web pages, there's so many of those examples, you can't even name them. They're all getting deleted in mass. And the single dumbest and most screechy, perfect example of a DEI hire, Joy Reid, is freaking out on MSNBC over Trump's sweeping DEI cuts. The federal government says there is an unconscionable pain being felt by this. Really. It's particularly evil. I always think of prisoners, people who are incarcerated, who have transitioned. You're going to take, trans women and put them in male prisons? What do we think is going to happen there?
Joy Reid. Look, if you want to be transgender, that is okay with me. I don't care. I just don't. You want to be who you want to be. You want to love who you want to love, and you want to be a gender from another universe and another galaxy. That is absolutely okay with me. I'm liberal in that sense. However, a transgender male, a transgender female is still a man. You cannot take away completely the testosterone within a female, within a male who's trying to be a female. He still has the testosterone, the muscle mass, the bone density, the muscle density, the basic strength of a man, the stride of a man, the overreach of a man, the power of a man if he were to throw a volleyball or a baseball. He still has every resemblance of a man. So yes, he is going to be put in there. And because he's not an actual woman. And look, I know people will call me transphobic, but it's absolutely true. And I'm just gonna say, look, I agree. If you want to be transgender, be transgender. I have transgender friends. I treat them the way they're supposed to be treated. However, equally, women prisoners already struggle to get medical attention and medical help and supplies and feminine hygiene products in prison. And now we're going to let another man go and take that too? No. So thank goodness this is happening.
Orders the FBI to preserve all records related to DEI office. They are shutting down. Preserve and retain all records, documents, and information. Now closed DEI office. Never should have been opened. If it was, should have closed a long time ago. Why is it they're closing one day before the inauguration? The FBI closes DEI office in December, the agency says. Oh, it's just convenient timing. Acting Department of Homeland Security Benjamin Huffman sent a department-wide email this afternoon to all agencies that fall under the DHS, including the Secret Service, that he is taking steps to end all DEI-related contracts in compliance with Trump's executive order. These programs divide Americans by race, waste taxpayer dollars as a result of shameful discrimination. Huffman also warned that the incoming administration officials are aware of efforts by some to disguise their programs and asked that all personnel to report on any efforts that they are aware to obscure these programs and personnel. He provided a 10-day deadline included for this email, and he noted that there would be no adverse consequences for timely reporting this information, so get them all to snitch on each other. There'll be disciplinary actions later. The Secret Service has been one of the multiple law enforcement agencies, plus the Pentagon, that leaned into former President Biden's DEI initiatives, and you could obviously see the result of that.
Yeah, when I don't know, when the former president is shot at, and I know the Secret Service relies a lot on local law enforcement, but when you have a bunch of weaklings that can't even protect the former president of the United States, and the women that were trying to protect him were so small, they couldn't get their gun out in time, and they couldn't even protect the president. I mean, I'm sorry. Like, I know women can do a lot of things that men can do, but I'm sorry. I would rather have a bunch of burly, big men protecting the president of the United States, Republican or Democrat. Just saying. Oh, I wonder why. Oh, and you hired Kim Cheadle, who was a former Pepsi CEO, I think, or worker, high executive employee. You hire a person who's not even qualified to work a Secret Service job, be the Secret Service director. Boy, I wonder what were the results of that.
A really great list here of everything that President Trump has accomplished over the last 48 hours. But here we go. In just one day, restored merit-based hiring at the FAA, ending an insane Obama-era push to put travelers' lives in the hand of incompetence. Ordered the closure of all federal DEI offices. Ordered the repeal of LBJ's affirmative action mandate. Prohibited the use of racial discrimination or DEI at federal contractors. Ordered federal buildings nationwide to stop flying the pride flag. Launched a Stargate project to create AI technology here in the United States.
I don't agree with the abolishing of the affirmative action program. Regardless, however, you're telling me that now I'm going to travel safely and we could suffer less flight delays, and you're going to tell me that we can fly the American flag on federal buildings and not have to fly a flag that is the pride flag. And look, you want to fly the pride flag? Be my guest. But I believe our government should actually fly the American flag. I don't know. I mean, that's just me. I'm not homophobic. I have a lot of gay family members, lesbian friends, a couple transgender friends. But I'm sorry. Yeah, no. I'm happy that Trump is finally getting rid of the wokeness, finally getting rid of the race baiting, bullcrap, sexism promoted by Biden's government. And you gotta admit, it is awesome.